Good morning, everyone. My name is Detective Sergeant Matthew Giroux, and I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. I'm very pleased to be a part of this important celebration and thankful for the support your presence offers our police department and our officers. I want to acknowledge all the hard work all of our officers and civilian staff do, not just the officers here today receiving awards. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Chief Roof for a few words.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming today. This is a very solemn event. We are doing several things today. We're recognizing the officers that have done a great job throughout the year. And I'll tell you, you can't recognize every officer. There's officers out there on the road right now taking calls for service because they can't be here. We're a 24/7 operation. We have to be taking calls for service all hours of the day. So the officers do an outstanding job. We're going to recognize a few of those officers today for the good things that they have done. We're also going to have a promotion ceremony for one of our detectives that's going to become a sergeant. And it's going to be fourfold today. We're going to do four things. The third thing we're going to do is we're going to have a little retirement presentation for one of our sergeants who's getting ready to retire in the next few weeks. Then we're going to end the day with our memorial service for the officers, and this is the real reason why we're here today. It's for the officers that gave their lives to the citizens of Saginaw to keep you and I, all of us, safe. That's what this is all about. We never, never will forget those people. Never. They gave their lives for us. Okay, we will start our ceremony now with our awards.
Okay, Tammy Pastors, if you'd come up. The first award is for Support Services Employee of the Year, which is Tammy Pastors. This esteemed recognition is awarded to a non-sworn employee who has consistently displayed the utmost tact, cooperation, initiative, sound judgment, appearance, ability, civic-mindedness, self-improvement, flexibility, and pleasant attitude towards the citizenry and their peers. Tammy is to be commended for assuring accuracy within the Saginaw Police Department's payroll system. This responsibility goes beyond ensuring every employee receives proper credit for their hours worked and that the hours are charged to the correct accounts. Through her efforts, we are able to confidently track hours for grant reporting and reimbursements, billing purposes, and other special projects as necessary. It is a great pleasure to recognize Tammy Pastors as the 2022 Saginaw Police Department Support Services Employee of the Year. The next one is a meritorious unit commendation, and this is for our field training officers program. And if those officers are here, we have Sergeant Adams, Officer Jordan Beatty, Officer Byerline, Officer Cece, Officer Engelhart, Officer Hines, Officer Holden, Officer Jareski, Officer Lautner, Officer Nelson, and Officer Ward. So the meritorious unit commendation is awarded to those persons who, using teamwork, perform a deed or activity considered beyond the normal demands of duty. This award may be given to any departmental group or groups that work together to handle an immediate response or long-term project. Over the last several years, the Saginaw Police Department has welcomed many new officers to its ranks. The Field Training Officer Program has done an outstanding, thorough job training new recruits, some experienced, many fresh out of the academy. The constant mentorship and development of the next generation of officers requires an enormous amount of time, energy, dedication, and patience. This group has risen to the challenge and excelled. For their commendable teamwork, the Saginaw Police Department is proud to award these officers with the Meritorious Unit Commendation. This is another Meritorious Unit Commendation, and it is awarded to the Emergency Services Team members Officer Matthew Oswald, Detective Julian Guevara, Officer Jonathan Byerline, Officer Anthony Tenayuki, Sergeant Robert Adams, Officer Jared Atha, Lieutenant Andrew Myers, Sergeant Oscar Lopez, Officer Jeremy Holden, Detective Philip Halverson, Sergeant Matthew Karpus, Officer Jordan Englehart, Officer Irvin Ward, Sergeant Jeffrey Roberts, Detective Dominic Vasquez, Detective Philip Graves, Officer Ryan Jareski, Deputy Christopher Bonington, Dr. Walker Foland, and Paramedic Christopher Manriquez. If anyone hasn't stepped up, if you could, please. The Meritorious Unit Commendation is awarded to those persons who, using teamwork, perform a deed or activity considered beyond the normal demands of duty. This award may be given to any departmental group or groups that work together to handle an immediate response or long-term project. In the early morning hours of August 5th, 2021, the Saginaw Emergency Services Team, EST, executed a high-risk search warrant on a house within the city limits. Upon entry, 2 lead team operators were confronted with a lethal force situation involving an armed gunman and neutralized the immediate threat. The team leader made a rapid, calculated decision to continue pushing forward so gained ground would not be forfeited. Simultaneously, another operator pulled the suspect to the front porch, began rendering medical aid, and the on-scene TEMS operator initiated life-saving efforts. Other on-scene TEMS communicated the suspect's injuries and status to an off-site ER doctor, also a TEMS operator. At Covenant Hospital, contributing to saving the suspect's life. The remainder of the EST continued securing the structure with caution and professionalism despite the overwhelming air of tension. This led to the detention of 2 individuals, two additional subjects found hiding in separate rooms, both containing firearms. Upon review, it was determined every member of this unit bravely executed their assigned tasks and functioned cohesively, contributing to the success of the mission. For their exemplary teamwork under extraordinarily difficult circumstances, the Saginaw Police Department is proud to award these team members with the Meritorious Unit Commendation. This next one is a special assignment decoration for Detective Julian Guevara, and I'm told that he just had some surgery and he can't be here today. The special assignment decoration is awarded to departmental members who are assigned to duties in which long-term personal dedication and hardship are necessary for the success of the assignment. Detective Julian Guevara has been assigned to Bayonet since 2019. In the course of this assignment, Detective Guevara has successfully participated in numerous investigations, surrendering many days and nights away from friends and family in order to bring those responsible for narcotics-based crimes to justice. It is with great pleasure the Saginaw Police Department awards Detective Julian Guevara with the Special Assignment Decoration. And the next one is for Officer Tyler Cece, but I don't see him here today. I know a lot of our guys receiving awards are in some training here. So this one is for a commendation, and it's awarded for efficient and valuable service to the Saginaw Police Department, requiring problem-solving, initiative, thoroughness, and determination. Officer Tyler Cece consistently performs his duties with a positive attitude and genuine concern for his coworkers and the community he serves. As a community police officer, his ability to maintain a patient demeanor when responding to calls furthered his ability to establish a rapport with citizens to determine the root cause of issues at hand in the neighborhood he was assigned to. It is with great pleasure the Saginaw Police Department awards Officer Tyler Cece with the Saginaw Police Department Commendation Award. This next one is a life-saving award, and it's for our Days B shift. And those officers are Holden, Jackson, Williamson, Wortman, and Ziegelman. If they could step forward, please. The life-saving award is granted to any employee for the saving of a human life. Saving of a human life is recognized as the removal of a person from a place or situation where death would be imminent if the victim were not immediately removed, or if the administration of CPR, abdominal thrusts, stoppage of profuse bleeding, or the performance of any other specified physical act, without which death would be imminent. On the afternoon of October 3rd, 2021, Officers Holden, Jackson, Williamson, Wertman, and Ziegelman were dispatched in reference to a suicidal subject suspected to be somewhere along the banks of the Saginaw River. Officers began simultaneously searching both sides of the river and successfully located the subject sitting along the river, out of view from the roadway. Initially, the subject refused help and was fearful of the police presence. After some time and conversation, the subject accepted the officer's assistance and was escorted to an awaiting medical personnel and transported to a local hospital to speak with crisis staff. On this day, these officers displayed a high level of patience, experience, and proficiency in their field. For their outstanding teamwork, the Saginaw Police Department is proud to award these officers the Life Saving Award. Next one's for a life saving as well. It's Detective Ryan Jareski. If you could step forward, please. The Life Saving Award is granted to any employee for the saving of a human life. Saving of a human life is recognized as the removal of a person from a place or situation where death would be imminent if the victim were not immediately removed, or if the administration of CPR, abdominal thrusts, stoppage of profuse bleeding, or the performance of any other specific physical act, without which death would be imminent. Officer Ryan Jareski was dispatched to the scene of a suicidal male threatening to jump from a bridge. Upon his arrival, Officer Jareski addressed the subject and successfully encouraged the subject to allow Officer Jareski to transport him for a medical evaluation. While en route to the medical facility, Officer Jareski continued to offer words of encouragement and positivity, as well as details about services available to help the individual redirect their life's trajectory. It is with great pleasure that the Saginaw Police Department awards Officer Ryan Jareski with the Life Saving Award. This next one is an exceptional performance citation, and it goes to Officer Brandon Jebb, who's at some training today and couldn't be here for the ceremony. The exceptional performance citation is awarded for service in the line of duty which required exceptional thoroughness, conscientiousness, determination, and initiative. On the afternoon of October 13th, 2021, Officer Brandon Jebb was on routine patrol in Old Town Saginaw Business District when he heard gunfire in his immediate vicinity. Upon observing the gunfire was coming from a quickly fleeing vehicle, he gave pursuit. Several blocks from the location of the gunfire, Officer Jebb, along with assisting officers, apprehended the suspect after a short search and subsequent foot chase. It is with great pleasure that the Saginaw Police Department awards Officer Brandon Jebb with the Exceptional Performance Citation. This next one is an Exceptional Performance Citation as well, and it's for Detective Mercer, who is at some sexual assault training today in Lansing. The Exceptional Performance Citation is awarded for service in the line of duty which required exceptional thoroughness, conscientiousness, determination, and initiative. Detective Catherine Mercer maintains an excellent work ethic and consistently goes above and beyond working her assigned cases. She possesses excellent time management skills, knows how to prioritize her caseload efficiently, and demonstrates burgeoning quality leadership skills. Detective Mercer's hard work and unyielding determination serve her well in the pursuit of justice for victims of crime. It is with great pleasure that the Saginaw Police Department awards Detective Catherine Mercer with the Exceptional Performance Citation. This is another Exceptional Performance Citation going to Detective Frazier and Ziegelman and Officer Megan Nelson. The Exceptional Performance Citation is awarded for service in the line of duty which required exceptional thoroughness, conscientiousness, determination, and initiative. On the night of January 8th, 2022, Officer Megan Nelson was on duty at Covenant Hospital when an infant with serious injuries arrived via ambulance. Picking up on cues a lesser experienced officer may not have noticed, Officer Nelson became suspicious of the explanations given for the child's injuries and requested detectives be notified to further investigate the incident. Detectives Robert Frazier and Desiree Ziegelman responded for and conducted interviews with the infant's parents over several hours. Information gleaned from the detectives' persistence led to the issuance of a search warrant and the discovery of undeniable evidence pointing to the origin of this grim case. It is with great pleasure that the Saginaw Police Department awards Officer Megan Nelson, along with Detectives Robert Frazier and Desiree Ziegelman, with the Exceptional Performance Citation. This next one is Courageous Service Medal, which is one of the highest medals that we give out at the police department, and it's for Officers Jonathan Byerline and Julian Guevara. The Courageous Service Medal is awarded only in exceptional cases when an officer performs an extraordinarily hazardous duty. The officer must display exceptional and conspicuous bravery in which he or she risks his or her life or serious bodily injury in the prevention of a crime, the arrest of a criminal, or in the saving of a life. In the early hours of August 5th, 2021, the Saginaw Police Department Emergency Services Team was activated to execute a high-risk search warrant on a known drug house confirmed to have multiple firearms within it. Officer Byerline and Detective Guevara were among the first officers to enter the building. Upon entry, they were confronted by an armed individual aiming a firearm with an attached and activated gun light at them. Utilizing their departmental and special tactic training, Officer Byerline and Detective Guevara quickly neutralized the threat, saving themselves and fellow EST members from potential harm or death. In recognition of their bravery and efforts, the Saginaw Police Department proudly awards Officer Jonathan Byerline and Detective Julian Guevara with the Courageous Service Award. Our last award is for the Officer of the Year, and this goes to Detective Philip Graves. This prestigious honor is awarded to the officer who has consistently displayed the utmost tact, cooperation, initiative, sound judgment, report writing, appearance, law enforcement ability, civic mindedness, self-improvement, flexibility, and attitude toward the citizenry and their peers. Aside from his duties and responsibilities as a detective, Detective Graves also divides his time between serving as the patrol union president, an emergency services team member, a member of the impact committee, and also picking up patrol overtime when able. Detective Graves is trustworthy and dependable, and he's equally passionate about his job and his colleagues' well-being and success. He is frequently involved in happenings around the department and has helped to expand and improve the communication processes with command staff in efforts to build a better, brighter, safer future for the department, its staff, and the citizens it served. It's an honor to present Detective Philip Graves as the 2022 Saginaw Police Department Officer of the Year. That concludes the awards. We do have a promotional ceremony that Chief Ruth's going to do with Sergeant Dow.
All right, congratulations to everyone that received an award, did an outstanding job last year, and everybody does an outstanding job every day of the week. Again, we can't recognize all the good work that's going on out there, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of officers that do very, very good things. And sometimes they never get recognized in their entire career. But every now and then, people step up to the plate, and it's time for promotion. We have Jeff Dowd, could you step forward? I would call you Officer Dowd, Detective Dowd, but Jeff Dowd started as a police officer in the city of Detroit in 1996. In 1998, he left the city of Detroit and he went to the city of Grand Rapids. About a year later, he came to the Saginaw Police Department in 1999. The reason he came here is because this is his hometown. This is where he was born and raised. He went to Arthur Hill High School, wanted to come back home. Unfortunately, due to the losses of revenue in 2001, Officer Dowd was laid off. When he was laid off, he acquired a job in Bay City at the police department. He stayed there until 2015 when the opportunity arose for him to come back here to the Saginaw Police Department. He returned in 2015, worked on the road as an officer, made his way up to the Detective Bureau, one of our best homicide detectives we have, and now he's being promoted as a sergeant to work in patrol. He's gone the whole gamut, and I know Jeff is going to be an outstanding sergeant. He's got a lot of years of experience, very calm, mild-mannered. He's going to be a good sergeant. He's going to be the type of sergeant that's not going to hide. He's going to go up there and work with his people. And his people will have the confidence to come to him, to ask questions, and to look for guidance. And that's what about the first line supervision is all about. You're there as a sergeant to train the young people. We have a lot of young officers in this department. They need training. They need a lot of training. And when we have experience like this before us, this is how our new people are going to get trained. From all of his experience and wisdom will be brought into our younger officers. So hopefully they're as good of officers as he has been for his whole career. At this point in time, we will have our clerk come forward, our deputy clerk, Chris Bolzman. Chris will swear you in as an officer.
Do you want to step to the side?
Yes.
All right, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and that I will faithfully perform
and I will faithfully perform
the duties of
the duties of
the Office of Police Sergeant
the Office of Police Sergeant
for the City of Saginaw
for the City of Saginaw,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Now, we'll have the pinning of the badge. If we could have Elena, Jeff's wife, come forward. And let's get the kids up here too. Allie, the daughter, and Cade, the son. Now, this leads us to another solemn occasion. I hate it when we lose a good sergeant. Sergeant Schmidt, can you step forward? Our most senior sergeant in the police department. And it's time for her to retire. Yep. And she's like, I can't wait. Kelly has been with the Saginaw Police Department since 1997. She, as I indicated, she's our most senior sergeant that we have in the department at this point in time. As a matter of fact, we were both promoted on the same day years ago. And Kelly and I worked together for years on the same shift, Days B. That's why Days B so good, right? That's right. Kelly is the epitome of what you want in a police sergeant. That is it. The officers trust her because Kelly is there working with them day in and day out. They seek guidance from Kelly because they know Kelly's there to help them. That is what we want you to do, Sergeant Dowd. We want you to build that camaraderie with your troops so that they feel comfortable coming to you in a situation when they need help. And of course, Kelly's there for guidance also. Sometimes people make mistakes. She corrects those actions in a very, very professional way. I am so proud of Kelly. She's made it now. It's been 26 years? 25 years. It's been a long time. Now she's going to go into retirement and hopefully enjoy her life. She says she's not going to work again, but I got the feeling she's going to be out there working somewhere. She's too young to just give it up and quit. There's one thing about Kelly. She wouldn't let me recognize her, and I just got to tell this story. It was a few years ago. There was a baby that was just born. Baby wasn't breathing. Kelly performed mouth-to-mouth on the baby and brought it back to life. That was Officer of the Year material all day long. It's unfortunate. A few days later, the baby died, about 11 days later. And Kelly didn't want recognition, but she's getting recognition today. That is just a tremendous thing that she did. She saved a life. She saved a life. Too bad it didn't last a little bit longer, but she did save the life. The key is she was there to do it. And I'll tell you, there's one thing about Sergeant Schmidt. When I hear a call go out of a baby that's not breathing, She's on the radio telling Central to have any officer that's close go to help that baby. And that's what this is all about. We have to care about our citizens. We have to take that extra foot forward. You may be writing a report. You may be tied up. You may be busy. But when duty calls, you have to step up and go, and you have to help. We go into the action. We don't run from it. And that's what all police officers do. And Kelly is probably one of the greatest examples of that I've seen in my career, to the T. Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations again.
Honor guard! Attention! Port arms! Stand by.